All right, so everybody likes the bump shot. So here is my 31 week pregnant belly with baby number 11. Oh my goodness. So today I don't feel as big. Maybe this shirt is more flattering. It's a looser top, but anyways, that's it. That's baby boy. Hey everyone, so today is a pregnancy update video. So I know many of you guys like to stay informed of how things are progressing and going along. I did have my doctor's appointment last week, and I had mentioned that because I think I talked about it in a vlog, or I talked about my glucose test. I talked about something. Anyways, I get many messages and comments asking how we're doing, how, just how things are going. I try my very best to answer everything, but it's getting very, very hard to do. So please forgive me if I don't. It's not intentional by any means. So I'm doing a total video of just updating you guys on how things are going with me and sweet baby number 11. It is so funny. Like, it's kind of surreal. Like, I realize that 11 kids is a lot of kids, but it doesn't feel like a lot when you have a lot. I don't know how to describe it. It's just like, it just feels like my normal to me. But whenever I say it out loud, I'm like, holy cow, that's a lot of kids. Anyways, so moving on to my pregnancy update. So when y'all are seeing this, I'm actually officially 31 weeks as of today. Today is Wednesday, July 28th. And I had my appointment last week. I did get my glucose test results back, and I was gonna say I was positive, but I'm not. I passed the test. I passed the test, which the only time I have ever failed it was with Kinley, our 10th baby. And that really kind of threw me for a loop. And I was like 2 points high. So anyways, I passed it. So I don't have to do anything additional. Very thankful for that. As of how I've been feeling, I have shared here and there in a vlog of just feeling kind of run down and tired. I mean, I'm caring for 10 children every day, homeschooling, taking care of a house, and I'm 31 weeks pregnant. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's normal to be as tired as I am, but I do kind of feel like it has been excessive. And I talked to the doctors about that, and actually they didn't really have much to say except drink more water and rest when you can. And I'm like, okay, I'm doing that. But after talking to a few other mamas, friends of mine that have many children and have experienced what I'm feeling, I am trying to change my diet some. Now, I'm not being super duper strict with it just because it's kind of hard. Anyways, but I'm changing some things, and I'm hopeful that that will help. Just reducing sugar. I don't really feel like I consume a ton of sugar. It's probably more than what I think it is, but I'm not like a huge, like I don't drink soda or, anything like that. Anyway, so I'm just trying my very best to take care of me and the baby the remainder of my pregnancy. So I am just tweaking a few things and seeing if that helps me feel better. So hopefully that works. Otherwise, I don't know. I've got 9 more weeks, roughly 10 more weeks, and we shall see. So Drew and Kinley both came late. Drew was 4 days late and Kinley was 6 days late. If you have been around for a long time and know some of my pregnancy history, or you know me in real life and you know some of my pregnancy history, I have been induced 5 times, 6 times. I don't know. I'll figure it out later. 6 times. I had to think about it. I had to know the answer now. So 6 times I have been induced, and the other 4 children I went into labor on my own with. Out of those 6, 5 of them were due to amniotic fluid. I've seen a perinatologist over it with one of our babies and everything. They're like, this baffles me of how many times this has happened to you. And I'm like, I don't know. It's a superpower that I have. I don't have any other words. There is no known cause. So I am monitored pretty closely towards the end to make sure that the amniotic fluid levels are where they should be. And whenever I say low, like they were scary low. With Logan, and Jackson, they were the scariest times. Like, we were kind of prepared for things to be worse than what they were. Praise the Lord, everything turned out fine. I did have to be induced. The earliest was at 37 weeks with Logan. So, however, our last 2 babies, Drew and Kinley, the ones that I've gone late with, I have not had low amniotic fluid, and I was able to wait and go into labor on my own. And that was awesome. And that is my desire this time, is that as long as the baby is okay and monitoring fine, and me as well, I will wait until I go into labor on my own. And hope, we'll see. I don't know. Kinley was 6 days late. That was a long wait. I do not have larger babies. Kinley was 7 pounds, 9 ounces at 6 days late. So that's on the bigger side for us. A lot of our babies are in the 6 pounds. Jackson was even 5 pounds, 12 ounces. But that was due to the restriction of the low amniotic fluid too. So there was a reason for that. So anyways, that is my continued plan. And just watching things closely. So I am now going to the doctor every 2 weeks. And actually at 34 weeks, they're going to give me an ultrasound. They normally wait till 36 weeks, but they're going to do it at 34 weeks to check the baby's growth, because some of the babies that I had early, they did stop growing in utero and started growing smaller due to the lower amniotic fluid levels. So they're going to check the fluid levels and an AGI to check on sweet baby boy. So I'm looking forward to that. And then from there, I think that they'll monitor me probably every 2 weeks for another growth scan for the baby. Okay, so to talk about the sweet baby boy that many of you have asked me, do we have a name yet? And that answer is no. So if you did not see Nathan and I's video of sharing the baby name list that we had, go check it out. I'll put it in the description box below, and then you'll see why we have our hard time naming babies. So Nathan and I have the list narrowed down to, and actually we've added another name to it. So that list was Camden, Brady, Bo. I really wanted to add Eli to that list, but Nathan really just doesn't want to use the name Eli. So more than likely it won't be Eli. So those are the 3 names that we're liking: Camden, Brady, Bo. And then the new name is Beck. I'm like, what's with all the B's? The B names, that's kind of funny. I had forgotten that I liked that name Beck, and Nathan had liked it too. So it didn't make either of our lists. And one of y'all messaged me and was like, hey, what about the name Beck? And I was like, I totally forgot about that name. We had liked that. So I had texted it to Nathan that day, and he was like, oh yeah, I kind of like it. We mentioned it to the kids. I think it was last night over dinner actually, and nobody really cares for it. So not that they have to, but so it's pretty much between those 3 names: Camden, Brady, or Bo. And we both kind of like them equally. So I think it's going to come down to us seeing him in the hospital, or seeing him whenever he's born. I don't know. We shall see. It'll be interesting. Nathan has now become undecided on the middle name. So like, he will have a name by the time that he's born. If not, we'll get an extension on the birth certificate. We had to do that with Drew. True story. You can actually do that. Did you know that? We were like talking to this lady. We were like, we don't really have a name yet. Is there any way to like prolong this process? And you can. So that's good news in our case. So, but I'm pretty sure it'll be out of those names: Camden, Brady, or Bo. And then we have to come up with a middle name. So we shall see. Okay, it's kind of like surreal to be expecting another boy. Drew is 2, but our next boy above Drew is Logan, and he's almost 8 years old. So there's a big gap between that. So I would have been thrilled if we had another girl, but it'll be neat to have a buddy for Drew, closer in age. I mean, Kinley and Harper aren't that far apart, so they, have a buddy, like, because they'll be sisters and share a room and stuff like that. So it is neat to be expecting another boy. It's just harder to name him for us. But I was telling Nathan, I was like, he seriously moves constantly. Like, he does have a few still moments, but if he is moving, like, he is like a punching bag inside and doing all these flips and turns and twists and stuff. Nathan was laying on my belly last night, and he was just going to town, and like, Nathan couldn't lay on my belly because it wasn't comfortable because the baby was moving that much. And Nathan just looked at me. He was like, oh my goodness. He was like, he's going to be just like Drew, isn't he? He's going to give us a run for our money. So those 2 paired together is going to be quite interesting. So Jackson and Logan are 3 years apart, I think. So we haven't had boys. They'll be 2.5 years apart. So we haven't had boys that close in age. So it'll be fun and interesting, and definitely, I'm sure, give us a run for our money. So we are hitting definitely the nesting and the preparing mode. We are getting things ready and buying the things that we need for the baby, which is fun and exciting. And it's making the little kids ask me every day, is the baby coming today? Or every doctor's appointment, does the doctor take the baby today? Which is really sweet. Like, not today, not yet. So it'll still be, you know, a little while of a wait, but we are getting ready and moving some things around. We don't have a ton of stuff to do, but we are working on those little things and just getting very excited. So outside of, you know, just doing the normal things to prepare and buy for the baby, I am just, like I said, trying to eat much cleaner and low carb and low sugar. The sugar is the hard part for me and see if that doesn't help me feel better, because the baby is doing great. The baby's doing fantastic. Outside of me just feeling rather exhausted, which, I mean, I'm sure I have a good reason for, right? Anyways, I'm just seeing if that will help. But thank you guys for checking in on us. We are doing pretty good, and just getting excited to meet this baby boy and find out what his name will be. That will be interesting. So thanks for hanging out with me today and hearing my pregnancy update video, and we'll see you in the next video.